Yeah, we're just smacking our hands together. Yes, welcome, skeletons. This is something a little bit more kind of in season for what we've been doing previously with like
Oscar season coming up.
Yeah, typically like video, and everyone's kind of doing their top fives. So we're going to do our top five of the best films we saw this year. Stuff that, personally for me, I think that the Oscars should recognize, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
Please don't.
So I guess to start things off, I mean, I'm going to start strong, really strong in terms of best film of the year. I mean, it's already nominated for Best Picture, One Battle After Another, by Paul Thomas Anderson. So what I really liked about One Battle After Another, I think for me, was the writing. It had so many different elements to it that I really, really loved. Like the cast was great.
Yes.
Just Sean Penn as the villain who was like going after Leo's wife.
Yeah. And the daughter.
And the daughter, yes. And yeah, it was just Benicio del Toro was great as the sensei.
Yeah, I love the layers it had with it of when they were doing everything. That was one type of like scenes and like vibe, and another one is like aftermath of like, okay, it's been like 16 years of keeping it cool. Like Sensei is just kind of like keeping the daughter chill, training her.
Yes.
And then he happens to be like someone he really needs help from. So that helped out really great because he was a prominent member of the community to like keep the immigrants that were there safe, because they're like, okay, we're just trying to live our lives, but we're gonna watch out over each other.
A little current event-y, to what's going on in America as well. Yeah. But like Leo too, as like that stoner who like couldn't remember the passphrase.
He was such a mess. This is like the one role I was like, bro is like just struggling.
But to be fair, like if you or I received that passphrase and it was like decades,
literally like 16 years later, I was like, I don't remember. Who was your supervisor?
Right.
What is this?
Give me a hard time over this fucking password. But like it was just that it was funnier than other Paul Thomas Anderson movies, because like my other previous favorite of his was There Will Be Blood. Ooh, which is like just such a stark contrast to this film, where it's you almost see kind of like in There Will Be Blood, like the seeds of capitalism kind of like forming and kind of like taking the land for yourself and only yourself, and like doing whatever you can to like get mine and screw the other guy. There was just so much of that.
Even the aftermath of that, like once he gets everything and the people he comes back and meets again.
Yes, and the way that they try to manipulate him, but they turn it back on him. So like, so big fan of Paul Thomas Anderson, and One Battle After Another did not disappoint.
I was glued to the TV.
Yeah, for a 2.5 hour film. Like normally, like I'm checking my watch, going like, man, I still have 40 minutes left in this thing, but not with One Battle After Another.
No, that's good. That's a good strong one to start with.
Yeah. Okay. So another thing I liked about One Battle After Another was that car chase.
Oh man, yeah.
Where they're all going at like the same speed almost, and they're all like equidistant from each other. So you have this like rhythm of the car chase that's like one cut, shoo, and you just see each one kind of like falling in the distance, or like coming in from the distance. That was another.
You would think that would be boring too, because it's just a straight line, and that's it. But even that part where the hills too, where like you can only go so fast because of those hills, but it kind of like it creates this easy level of like movement and tension at the same time. We were like, okay, this is gonna happen. That is not what happened.
Yes.
So it was great.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites. But yeah, what about you? What's your?
completely stark different. So for me, it's the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 of 3.
Speaking of long movies.
Yeah, that was really long. It was almost the same amount of time, I think. Like
roughly,
it was
think so, yeah.
It was definitely over 2 hours.
Yeah.
But holy cow, it was another one that was like layers upon layers of what's happened. The beauty of it was how we finally got to this ending part where like we're finally trying to beat and win against Muzan, like the main like enemy. Like for people that don't know, to keep it short and sweet, good guys are finally getting to go after the bad guy face to face.
In his own like demon dimension thing, where it's just like this like Tesseract almost.
Yeah.
Like just infinitely
his
going.
Home front.
Yeah.
But as a classic like villain movie, like it kind of reminded me of Kill Bill, where like you think you're at the place where you're gonna get to the villain, and then more freaking things come out, and then you have to go to these different rooms and all this other stuff, and like each thing that you have to fight is just like its own level of like, okay, this is really hard. But no, for me, it was just something that I had been building for a while because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, like you had to see an IMAX.
Yeah,
like
had to
get it directly in the center of the theater.
Yeah, I had to be right there, and it was worth it. It was completely worth it. For me, I'm a fan of whenever there's a backstory to the villain.
Oh, this was a lot of that. Yeah, with Akaza. That was really the highlight of Infinity Castle, because like they did touch upon like Zenitsu's backstory a little bit more, and I forget her name, the butterfly.
Ooh, I'm bad with that one.
Yeah, the butterfly. The butterfly Hashida Shinobu.
Yes.
And her struggle, and I love seeing that kind of back and forth between her and her demon that she was fighting, and they're kind of building it up into the next. Whenever you are planning a trilogy or planning a series of films, that kind of work, kind of pre-work and then like payoff later is so important. Like I remember, like you never played these games, but Mass Effect. When you beat Mass Effect 1, you beat the main villain you've been chasing, but you find out there's these like other creature monsters on like the fringes of the galaxy that you like still have to deal with.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah.
Because like it's like you scrape the surface of something that's so much bigger than you.
Yeah.
And the irony is that with Tanjiro, the main character, he already knew the main villain from the very beginning. And it was just kind of something that like he came across where like it kind of happened to him. Again, I'm keeping it short and sweet because we do have like 4 other movies to talk about. But for him to come back to this opportunity where like, okay, now I'm going to be able to confront him along with everybody else that's there that's trying to do the same thing. But you get those villains that, come against you. And what I really appreciated was the fact that it came together in such a way where it's not just using the past and what's happening currently, but it's using what's happening currently in such a way where like you see how they find a way to dig up more motivation within themselves of how to get through it, even though they're losing. There's moments where, especially with the Hashida Shinobu, the butterfly one, I never noticed this, but the demon she was fighting, the second, because of the hierarchies, he's the second one, I think. He said, like, you're really fast. And for him to, like, compliment her when she's, like, struggling against him. Yeah. I was like, for him to point out all these different flaws about her being like smaller than everyone else and how she's had to like compensate by
her fighting style like kind of like complements that like kind of get in get out without like being close by to
because
him.
a sword is like poison dart basically, so she's constantly like refining the poison depending on the type of demon she's fighting. So I love how each individual demon slayer, that even Hashidas too, they have like a specific strategic way of how to fight against the demon.
Right.
And that beautiful layering of like, this is what my past was and this is how I got here, but also what his past was and how he got here. It creates this moment where it's more than just about fighting.
Yes.
It's about what does it take for you to get what you want.
Well, yeah, it changes the dynamic from just a fight to this like very, I mean, it's kind of like the way that like Akaza and Tanjiro kind of interacted with each other, because like Akaza was going after Gyo, the water Hashira, and like it could have ended the same way it did for Rengoku.
Yeah.
But because Tanjiro and Akaza have that history built up with each other, there was a way, and because there was a method that he used.
The same fighting style too, because they both have had like training with water, like specifically the water element, and the same mentor that trained them.
Right.
So they have that similarity where like they easily understand where the other one's like moving with, like, okay, he's gonna do this move, so I need to go this way.
Yes, they are complementing each other more so now than we've previously seen, as far as like the Hashiras go.
Yeah, that's right, because with Rengoku, he was like, he felt like as if he was in the way. And well, he was also hurt though, so he literally couldn't do much.
Yeah.
But who felt that was in the way was actually Inosuke.
Okay.
Is it Inosuke?
The one with the boar head?
Yes.
Yeah, the Inosuke, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Because I remember him watching the fight, and he was thinking to himself, like, I literally can't keep up with them. I can barely see what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And he saw himself, it's like he already knew, if I go in there, I'm gonna get in the way. And so what I love about the movie and the series in general, but they have these moments, these clear moments of like, okay, how am I gonna get this? How am I gonna get this guy? How am I gonna get an advantage? And so that moment where Tanjiro is actually thinking about like his dad, he has constant moments where his dad or his siblings or somebody is trying to help him. And so he goes through this like little like memory loop where he goes back in time and then remembers something that his dad did that helped him with what he was fighting, which is this bear.
Yes, and didn't he also remember something that Inosuke also taught him, Tanjiro?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the fact that Inosuke was in that house, of the Shinobu house. This old lady would come and scare the crap out of him.
Yes. I do remember that, yes.
She was so sweet. Her little cookies, you want something to eat? And he was like, I can't sense her because she's not trying to hurt me.
Yes.
It's that sense of like, I'm coming, like, there's like an energy that comes from that, apparently. Like, I think it's similar to like when you sense someone staring at you and just kind of like,
oh yeah, that little like thing in the back, like wherever someone's staring at you, like happens all the time when I walk around here.
Right, like I mean, you're hard to miss.
Yeah,
looking like 6'2" football player over here. Everyone's watching out for you. You're like, oh my god. But yeah, it's kind of like that sixth sense of like something's going on around me. What's going on? And he basically noticed how she didn't have any sense of malicious intent.
Yeah, it was the intention that tipped them off.
Yeah. And so it kind of was a combination. Of like, if you come in with the intent to like give him your all and I'm gonna like beat you or whatever, he senses that, and whatever amount of energy that you're using, intention, the level, it makes him stronger. And that's like, it's like no wonder he was like one of the top 3 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Like, no wonder. But sorry for the fuzzy memory. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's not since August since we last saw it. So,
I freaking love that movie.
Yeah. All right. In keeping with our anime leanings, predilections, another one I think is going to be I wish it was in the category, was Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not. It was just such a glorious animation display towards the very end of the film. I mean,
it was incredible, but at this point, I'm very happy not being part of the bandwagon. So it's because the thing is that there's so much of us, which is anime fans.
Yes.
That you literally don't need the Oscar nominee or that other trophy. Like, I'm just like, we're gonna show up. So
as a Godzilla fan, it was really nice that Godzilla -1 won the special effects.
That was cool.
It was kind of like a validation. So like, not like, you know, I don't need it to enjoy Chainsaw Man, but it's like that last like 10, 15 minutes or last like 20 minutes of Reze arc was just through different styles, through different like just like the energy on display, like everything about this confrontation that had been building and building and building in such a smart and unique way that I didn't see. Like, everyone said, like, you gotta, you know, wait until you see the Bomb Devil, wait until you see the Bomb Devil, and I was like, well, okay, what is this? What is this going to be? This Bomb Devil?
Well, I didn't even think it was a she.
Right, just based on the design of the character. I mean, like, I was just kind of like, oh, like I didn't even see anything.
Right.
But that's what I kept reading, is like the Bomb Devil, and it also functions as like a coming of age story for Denji. And it's like not the most like blow your mind, like kind of, you know, just, you know, coming of age story. It's more kind of saying, it's like what I've said in the past, like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
So this notion that like you can have different attractions and affections for different girls, you know, what do those things turn into? What do you really know about the person?
Yeah.
Like, it's so like, and the way it kind of like not only like bombards you with energy at the very end, but it's so smart and intentional and knows when to slow down. Like when Reze and Denji are in the pool, they snuck into, and she's asking him questions about like, so you've never gone to school? Like, what do you plan on doing for the future? Like, it's just like these really in-depth questions. I don't think Denji is even remotely cared for.
No.
He just knows, I'm getting fed, I have a place to stay, and I've lived as a homeless person for many years.
It's better than what it was.
Right.
So. I'll make this last.
Yeah, but that whole like typhoon demon sequence, like I mean, just like every time I think I had, and the moment it came out on digital, I was like, I have to own this movie because it's like one of my favorite animated films. But like, yes, if we pitch upward, you can see the Chainsaw Man set figure that I bought. Him on Beam, the Shark Devil. I mean, and it's one of the few Chainsaw Man is one of the few manga that I've read too. Like, other than Berserk, like I've tried with Demon Slayer, I've tried with Jujutsu Kaisen. It just doesn't really, like, it's the same as it's similar to the show, but I'm just like, if I already know about the show,
it makes it hard to get into it.
Yeah, like what do I have to look forward to? But like Chainsaw Man, it's like very much, there's little tidbits throughout, like certain, and this is what I learned from Eye Patch Wolf, was that certain scenes are drawn out in the show that are not drawn out in the manga whatsoever.
Like that episode
with Aki, and he's just going about his morning routine, and it's like that is nowhere in the manga, but does such like as I was telling you, those slow moments bring you into the world more. It doesn't. Yes.
I mean, that's why. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but
you're fine.
That's why I love Demon Slayer, because like I understand that it can be disruptive to have a slow moment in the middle of a battle, but it goes back to the core of the show in the very beginning, where he didn't see demons as just this bad thing.
Because of his sister.
Exactly. Because of his sister.
Yeah.
And even afterwards, he's still kind of like, when he was first digesting everything in the first season, he still sees them as like people after they've passed. Like when they're in the process of like deteriorating, there's moments where they're crying. There's moments where they're like stating something of like, I wish I could have, why I never got the chance to, and then they disappear.
Yeah.
And that compassion, it's very hard to do. It's very easy for you to just go and blindsided be like, this is bad. I'm not gonna do anything but just focus on killing, and that's it.
Very black and white.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not to say there's not a good reason for it, because all the Hashiras and Demon Slayers that are like that, they've had really hard, difficult lives, which is the reason why they became Demon Slayers in the first place.
Yes.
But to continue to have that level of compassion because of his sister, and because it helps him stay human.
Because back to Chainsaw Man, Denji enjoys the hell out of out of killing demons. Killing devils.
He enjoys it, but he's a different type of demon, though. He like once you become a demon, it's
devil.
Once you become a devil, it's like a sense of compassion is lost. Like it's very one-sided on like how you're gonna go approaching life. No feeling lasts too long. But at the same time, there's a line that they don't cross, and I think it has to do with like how strong they get, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, so the way that it works is that like the more. It's based on like the object that the devil kind of embodies. So like if it's a car act, like if it's a coffee devil, no one's really going to be afraid of. It's going to be small. It's going to be weak. It's going to be very easily dealt with. But if it's a gun devil or a sword devil or a shark devil, then it's a little bit more of a problem, because more things have passed away from those. More things have died from those things, those words. It's essentially like a word power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, just to go back to the core, I love the.
Yeah. What'd you like about Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man had such a great way of like giving you depth. Giving you depth and reminding you that Denji is just a teenager, and there's so much to his life that he hasn't experienced, especially with his upbringing being so rough. Like he was on his own as an orphan, and he owed a lot of money to these people.
Well, because of his dad, that he inherited his dad's debt.
Yeah. And for him to like now be in this place where he's basically working for this government unit that's like undercover, like
it's like state sponsored, but like at the same time, like the more like, I mean, you'll see this after the in the next like season of the show. You can't hide the presence of devils anymore after the fight with the bomb devil.
Okay, yeah. So I was on the right track. I was like, I don't think they're like allowed to be out in the open, but
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, it was great to give it a moment where he could be a kid again, a teenage boy, and experience like, okay, what would it have been to go to school? Even the girl he meets, going to the cafe, she's like studying, and that's like the regular lifestyle of a teenager.
It's normal. It's a what if question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it kind of allows him to have that lifestyle for like, even in like a moment, like kind of like in the sidelines through her a little bit.
Yeah, like even going to the movie theater with Makima is that kind of like what if we just did things that were kind of normal? What if we weren't like hunting devils all the time? Like what's going to, and I don't know because I haven't gotten this far in the manga, but like what happens when I take out the gun devil?
Right.
What more is there to this relationship I have with the leader of this group? Yeah. And other characters like Power, like he's gone kind of like back and forth between like Reize, Power, and Makima.
Yeah, and I think that's something indicative of when it comes to growing up. You start asking yourself more and more like deep questions about the future, because when you're young, you're very much in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like what's happening right here, right now is all that matters.
Yeah, very true.
The older you get, the more the why matters, the more of like, okay, well, after this, then what?
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is peak. So what's next on your list?
So the next one I have is Presence.
Okay, directed by Steven Soderbergh.
She just stopped breathing, dead in her own bed. Can you imagine the parents finding her?
It's suffering. Just like you are.
For it being a January movie, too, because in my head I always have Red Letter Media's like, F
Like,
you, it's January.
F you, it's January, yeah.
So I like the fact that it has Lucy Liu, but also the trailer, I was just like, whoa, this is different. But yeah, it's basically about this family moves into this home, happens to be haunted, and just their, events that happen throughout that experience for them. But what I liked about it is how the camera was the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of like the coolest part about like how that narrative was told.
Yeah. So it wasn't like this like image or anything like that, but it kind of gave you an intimate experience as the viewer of like what it would be like to be a ghost.
Almost like voyeuristic too, because like they don't see you, but you have all these like details on like the different characters, even details that other characters are not privy to.
Yeah, and that was very interesting take, because like it's not something that I ever considered as a viewer, that I could have that much play with it.
Yeah.
Well, that the director had some play with it, because he was the one doing that. But
yeah, and like it's so different than his other projects. We looked it up real quick on IMDb, and like he's done Magic Mike, The Informant, Behind the Candelabra, the Ocean's movies. Like a director that chooses very like, it's like, oh, I have a different idea. It's not really my wheelhouse of stuff. But whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I love that he did it with this very good understanding of what people are like. It seemed as if he took a deeper dive into that. Characters really came to life.
Yeah, the dad I loved. The
dad was a great dad.
Because I'm so used to like horror, like dads in horror films being like, what are you talking about? That's not real. Go back to bed. And it's like they're so dismissive and they're so judgmental about whoever's experiencing it. Yeah. But like he was so supportive and concerned. His daughter was having these experiences and like clearly wasn't enjoying this.
Yeah, and he was also you could tell he was having a hard time balancing being a dad, being a husband. And also with himself as an internal person, of like being conflicted on how to go about doing this doing the relationship with his wife and his kids.
Yeah.
So it was great to see that vulnerability between every character in some type of fashion. Yeah, the way the supernatural was kind of like introduced in this movie was very easy to digest. Like it wasn't heavy on this home has this whole other past.
There wasn't a cult that like it didn't give you all this background lore. On the house that those like paranormal activity or like Conjuring films.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't
end up
like
doing.
What, made on top of like a graveyard?
No Indian burial grounds here.
Yeah, it's just a house. So to have so little to play with, and at the same time be able to deliver such depth and vulnerability and a lesson at the same time, it was something that it stuck with me.
I've not heard much, like even in like the circles that I kind of follow on YouTube, I don't even hear people reference Presence all that much. So it's really like I'm almost I'm shocked, but I'm not. You know, it doesn't surprise me. Like you really like those. You typically like those kinds of experiences that are kind of play around with your expectations and play around with what you know, delivered in a different way. And that's, you know, we watched Good Boy too, and I feel like those two films are very similar. I think Presence was much more successful than Good Boy because there was just so much more in the because it was a kind of a cinematography like experience versus like, okay, we're just going to follow this dog for an hour and a half kind of thing.
Yeah, for Good Boy, I love that the camera angle was from the dog's
height.
Yes. That helped a lot to like kind of understand why certain things would be kind of scary. Like if somebody's really coming at you, it really would feel like a lot.
You're huge. This person's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel it even more now. But that similarity between the two of them, it gives a whole different type of experience. So yeah.